waiting for Beatriz to come in, and she's in the room. I want to thank Beatriz, first of all, for setting all this up together, right? And having a part of you in the world for a little while.
And thank you, Andreina, for for doing this for us and anyone that wanted to join us as well.
Yes.
But I know that you did it for especially to analyze the development world and the MLS.
Yes. So this class that I've always done has always been geared towards, traditional sales, because that's kind of like the world that I work in, right? But I have done presentations at pre-construction projects to bring brokers in. And I had never thought of a class that would benefit you guys in the development side. So it was really cool to think like, all right, what does this group really need from me? Because if I start teaching you guys, just regular searches and, the market reports or hot sheets, you guys are going to learn it today, but you guys may not go back in the MLS tomorrow and use it again until you actually have, a client for, traditional. So I thought, okay, let me teach them maybe how to do searches, but how to search for what is going on in that area where their project is at, and find who those agents that are working consistently and closing in their area, so that they can reach out to them to bring them in for those sales, right?
Yes, someone, and if you guys, can you please mute yourself? Someone is making a lot of noise.
All right, I am muting to the best of my ability.
It's my fault. I just logged on. Hi, Beatrice.
Hi.
Beatrice, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's right, it's Beatriz's birthday today.
Yeah, I know. And yours was yesterday, right?
The day before, the first.
The first.
The first.
We have a lot of fire signs in here.
Yes.
All right, guys, so let's go straight into it. So as you can see, I am sharing my screen. Now, because I am sharing my screen, if you guys write questions on the chat, I'm not gonna see it as efficiently. So I would really rather you guys unmute yourselves, ask your question, and I'll engage with you, and then you can mute yourselves back up so that we can actually interact, and I can actually teach you guys with specifics of what it is you guys want to learn, okay? So obviously I'm in my home screen on the MLS, and my home screen will look very differently from yours. All these little boxes that you guys see here, you can actually move them around, drag and drop them, and make it a customized view to what you guys want to see when you guys first come into the MLS, right? If you guys X anything out by mistake, it doesn't go away forever. You guys have a little box that's called additional. And if you guys open it up, everything that you guys had clicked out, you guys can just drag and drop right back onto your home screen. But your home screen will look entirely different than mine, because mine has been switched around many times. For the sake of this training, I am going to start, with the more, not basic, but something that I find very important from here. And then we'll jump into the searches. And I do want to set up your hot sheets, but geared towards where you're going to use them as an in-house agent, okay? So from the very beginning, I do like to show this to the agents, because I find this information to be extremely important, is to go into your matrix and go into my information. And the reason why I like going into my information is because everything that you see here is what the other agents and the clients will see on the MLS. And I want you guys to go through every tab here, your header and footers, your CMA cover sheets. Now, obviously this individual is not me, he is my broker. So don't mind his information. But the reason why I want you guys to go through this is because this is all customizable, and it is all meant to have all your information. If there's any information that the board has incorrect, even if you go through your broker cannot switch it for you. You have to go directly to the board to help you switch it. just make sure all your information is correct through all of these tabs that you see here. Your email signature is very important. You know, I'm somebody who believes that every agent should absolutely look extremely professional, brand themselves, become extremely independent, has a you know has a company, because you are your own business owner. Okay? So you know, just go through all of these tabs. Now, by being a part of the board, they do give you an agent webpage. I've never seen what it looks like. 99% of the agents do not use it, but if you do want to take advantage of it, you are able to. You're able to enable it or disable it, and you're able to tell what you want to be placed on the site. All right, now,
Mira, un curso de MLS.
excuse me? Ladies? All right, there's a lot of background noise. If you guys can just mute yourselves unless you guys have a question, I would really appreciate it. Now, last but not least, and the only reason why I show all of these tabs is to get into the portal profile. For me, this is the most important one, because any email that you send out to any client directly from the MLS will be taken into your portal, right? So I want you guys to have your picture set up, your greetings. If you guys have inventory slides, links, videos, your contact information, this part is the most important section of your entire MLS, okay? So if you guys were to go into a sent email, if you guys send any emails from here, your client gets a link and it takes them straight into this portal. So it's not like before with MLS Exchange, where in the MLS Exchange, it would tell them, you used to be able to pick the display view for your clients to see what's going on, right? Now it's one link and it takes them to this portal, and this is how your clients receive it. So if any of your information is incorrect, if this is not the view that you guys, want your clients to see it in, there's certain things that you're able to say, like what they can search for. All of this is set up under My Matrix, My Information, and it is the last tab I just showed you. So make sure that whatever you do today, if you guys go on this, just make sure that this is set up entirely for you and that your clients are going to be able to view exactly what you want them to see. Okay? So far, so good?
So, Andreina, let me ask you. So let's say that I can choose what each of my clients are going to see on that portal?
Not what each of your clients are going to see, right? So this is kind of like a standard of what you want them to be seeing. So you're able to put...
So that's for everybody, for all of my clients.
For all of your clients, exactly. But you're able to say, like, show them my active listings, my temporarily off the market listings, my, withdrawn listings, IDX my listings, my office active listings. Like, you're able to tell them, hey, search whatever's going on in this little section here. Does that make sense? You guys are also able to have a video in here. So for you guys that are in the in-house, you might want to input your unbranded videos or your branded videos in here so that your clients can see where you're working on, and you guys can have this, other video give you a little other boost in marketing that you might not have had before. Same thing with your portal greeting. It could be like, hey, welcome to my portal. I am so-and-so, and I work at this project, and this what I'm doing. And if you need any more information, you know what I mean? But you're able to really customize that portal for you, geared towards what it is that you're doing and who your clients are, right?
That's a great idea.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Regarding the thing that you have go a little bit lower on the page.
Sure.
Yeah, right there, the inventory slide showing links.
Yes.
Now, when the client opens the link that you send them through the MLS,
Yes.
they're only allowed to see what you sent them. Can they search stuff on the MLS as well, or that's not possible?
So it's not entirely linked up with IDX, meaning they won't be able to search. Like if you send them listings on Coral Gables and you send them 5 listings, they're only going to be able to see those 5 listings, right?
Gotcha.
And over here, you're able to tell them, hey, look at my other active listings or look at what my office is doing, but they're not going to be able to do a full search there on their own. It's not meant to be a website for you. It's just meant for you to be able to send out an email and for them to go to a pretty portal that lets you know what they saw, what they opened, what they liked, what they didn't.
Understood. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Your website, you can put that link in there and they can just go to the website and search.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would absolutely put your website on there. I would absolutely put a video of where you're working or a certain listing you're trying to push. But this should be kind of like, this should be a tab you're always on because your business might be always changing. Maybe you get a new listing and you want to change it around. Or maybe you're just kind of like sending these links. Like if you're an in-house agent, and maybe you're sending this link to the agents that work in the area and that are actively selling in the area of where your project is at. And you just want to continue to remind them that you're there and for them to see that video of your project. You know what I mean? Maybe from here, you might do like an auto send email to those agents that are currently active in that area where you're selling your project. And you're sending them maybe your market reports or your hot sheets or whatever. But the end result is end up in your portal, and your portal should have information of where you're working at and who you are and what you have going on. Make sense? So far, so good? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so the only reason why I show all of these tabs is literally just to get to here. For me, this is one of the most important sections that nobody touches on the MLS. Next, we're gonna go to the search. I think it's like the number 1 question I get is, man, how do you search? What are the tips, the tricks, the stuff that's going on, right? So RE1s, RE2s are obviously your single families, your condos. These are your regular traditional residential sales. RINs are your residential incomes. Those are your duplexes, your fourplex, your triplex, anything that your clients are gonna buy that's gonna make them residential income. Then it's your lands, your boat stocks. The next one is your RNTs, which are your residential rentals. Then you have your lands, your improved commercial, your business opportunities. Business opportunities are like somebody selling a hair salon, or a place or a restaurant, that's a business opportunity. Cross property for me is my favorite button. I literally say what every single one of these tabs are just to get to cross property. So cross property not only shows you what is for sale, but it also shows you what is residential, it will also show you what is commercial. It crosses itself from all the different tabs. So if you're somebody who has an investor that wants to buy a unit and then be able to rent it out, you don't have to go between RE1s, RE2s, and RNTs. You just go to cross property and it'll show you both. It'll show you what they're selling for and what they're renting for without having to go between the 2 buttons. So over here, I'd go to quick. And it's your regular input criteria, right? Now, for me, it was important to gear this conversation towards you guys. So I would like to do you guys know an address that's next to one of your projects? Obviously, your project would not show up on the MLS. So maybe the building next to it or something that you guys would be interested in knowing where the agents in that area are working.
How about Sabia in Pompano?
Do you know the address? I need an address.
Okay. It is 730 North Ocean Boulevard.
North Ocean
Pompano.
and Broward. Okay. So notice how I didn't put your boulevard and I didn't put your north. right? I just did 730 Ocean and I put Broward. And the reason for this is because Matrix was created so that less could be more. If that listing agent spelled out Boulevard entirely and you only put BLVD, you will not see that listing. And if you put BLVD and they, or backwards, I think I just repeated myself, but you won't see that listing if you don't enter it exactly how that listing agent entered their listing. There's times where they even put north right here instead of in the street directions. So you will miss that listing, right? So less is more. Now, let's say you're working with a building that has different addresses. Maybe it's a complex, right? You're able to click here more and you're years. And Key Colony has 4 different buildings. And I used to be able to put in all 4 addresses here and be able to scope out and farm that area. So let's say you have a client that only wants to search properties that are $200,000, right? $200,000. If you enter 200, this system will only show you 200. It won't show you 201. It won't show you 199. It will only show you $200,000 properties. Now you have a client that says, I want to search between 200 and 100, 200 to 500. Okay. Now let's say you have a client that wants to search 200 and less, 200 minus, 200 and up, 200 plus. Okay. So far, so good, right? Now you have a client that says, I'm very finicky. I only want even numbers only. So 200, comma, 400, comma, 600. This will show you every unit that is either 200, 400, or 600, nothing in between. So far, so good, right? You have a client that goes into Zillow and they tell you MLS numbers. A12345, comma, A12321, comma. So these you separate by commas. Total number of bedrooms, 2 and more is 2 plus, 2 and less is minus. Between 2 to 4 bedrooms is a dash. So far, so good? Please interrupt me if you have any questions in between, okay? So this same system works for full baths, half baths, garage spaces, parking spaces, total square feet between 1,000 and 2,000 square feet. 1,000 plus, 1,000 minus. This also works for year built. Let's say you don't want to deal with the lead report, right? You want to do 1979 and up, or minus, or in between 1979 and 1985. You would use a dash, right? So far, so good, right? All right, so I really like this address that she gave me because it gives me 8 matches and working with less is a little bit easier. But before I get to that, if you are somebody that is scoping out the agents that are closing in the last 7 days, you can put between 0 to 7 days. It'll let you know if any new active listings came up or in the closed sales in the last 0 to 7 days. You're actually also able to use the calendar. You want to see everything that's occurred. Not even, when the whole other year. You want to see everything that occurred from March 1st all the way to from March, what is going on? Clear. Sorry about that, guys. From March 1st all the way to the 31st, you're able to give it dates. Notice how it has a dash in between the 2 dates, right? So how did they do that? If you don't want to go through the calendar because it could be finicky like it was right now for me, you can say, I want to see everything that happened between March 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2020. And it'll tell you everything that has occurred in that month. You guys can also do, from in years as well. It doesn't have to be a month, 2020. You guys, I think this goes back like 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys are able to pull that information. Area numbers, you know, 52 for Key Biscayne. You can separate them by commas. Zip code separated by commas, and so forth. So far, so good, right?
Andreina, is there a place or a source for us to know, how to find out about the areas?
Yes, that's actually a very good question. So if you guys go up here to your help button, the second to last is called area maps. And you guys are able to pull up area maps in South Florida. So you guys can actually see the ones in Miami-Dade County.
Oh my God, I've been,
Wow.
Now, I will say this, comes to areas. Broward is very different. So do not quote me if you're working in the Broward area. But in Miami-Dade County, the second set of numbers in your folio is your area number. And I will break that down for you during this class in a little bit, okay? But you have all the area maps. Like it even has you with San Lucie and Marin County if you need it.
Andreina, which numbers, the last two or the second two?
The second set of numbers in your folio for Miami-Dade County is your folio is your area number. And I'm gonna break that down for you guys in a minute. So I'll show you how it's done only for Miami-Dade. Broward is a little bit different, okay? But here, help, second to last, and these are all of your maps. So far, so good, right?
Yes.
All right, so 30 Ocean, Broward. I don't know, it's giving me so many results. All right, so I like working with less is more. So this was a great address to give me because it only popped up 12. Notice how my columns are all, hold on, I'm very finicky with my views. Notice how I have certain columns that I'm viewing, right? For you guys that are working pre-construction, I wouldn't really care maybe the type of condo. So I can come in here, lower it, and I can remove that column because I already know that this address is a condo. So I don't really care for it to be in my columns, right? I might know that this has a community pool, so I'll remove that from here. But as you can see, you guys can remove your columns and you can add in columns. What is important for you guys? You need to know the names of those listing agents or the selling agents, right? So I would put the name and I would put not just the selling agent's name. I also want to know who was the listing agent because these are the agents that are actually working here in this building. Make sense? So I might not care about who their license number. So I'll remove that column. But
how are you doing that, Andreina? You're doing that by right-clicking?
Yes. Well, I have a Mac, so I just press down. But yes, it should be a right click. So when you see the 4 arrows there, right here on that, see it disappears if I go down. But right there on that first line, I'll see the 4 arrows. I'll click down and I can insert a column or I can remove a column. So based on your needs, obviously we already have the listing agent's name. I also want to know their email address. Agent email address. And I'm also going to want to know their phone number, correct? Agent phone. And now I have the selling agent's name here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to want to know their email address.
I guarantee you that more than one of us is going like, boom, like, wow.
Well, this is why I wanted to gear this class specifically for you guys, because in traditional sales, we don't care about their name. We don't care about their email or their phone number. All we care about is that listing, right?
Yeah, because see that who's active
Yes.
in our name. So this is like, you know, the bomb.
Yes, this is exactly why when I was speaking to you, to Beatriz the other day, I said, we were talking about maybe making this class open to everybody. And then I wrote to her and I said, I'm not going to put it in my chats because I want to gear it specifically to your group. So this is the reason why I am putting that listing, person's name, their email, their phone number. The selling agent is very important because that's the one who has the client.
Exactly.
So far, so good, right, ladies, guys?
Andreina, quick question. Is this, you have to do this every time you start a new search, or can you set it so that it's always, the columns are always like that from the beginning?
Oh, we're gonna set it up so that you always view your columns this way. So you see
Thanks.
the little wheel thing that's right here, like a settings button. You're gonna click on that. And that first link says, hey, if you click me, every time you come into the cross property button, which is the one that I just did, you're gonna view your lines this way. And if you click that second link, it's gonna default you to whatever the board default settings were, right?
Right.
But now, we have different display views. So the beautiful thing about this is that you're actually able to give this view a name. In-house agents view. And I'm gonna save the changes, right? Or in your case, you would actually put save as a copy, right? Because it's gonna copy whatever view it was on before default settings. And then every time I wanna go in here, oh, see, I didn't save a copy, hold on. Give me 1 second, save as a copy. Now I'm able to go in, and now sorry guys, the teacher's messing up here. I'm gonna do in-house sales agents view. And I'm gonna save as a copy. So now every time I come in here, I'm able to view this view, right? So let's say I go home and I do a new search. What was that address again?
730 North Ocean.
And I go into the results. Oh wait, I didn't put Broward. And I go into my results. I am able to go in here and put in-house sales agents view, and boom, there it is. So
you selected Broward before.
Yeah, I put in Broward again now.
Same thing goes for when you just do a regular search and you just want to save buildings. It doesn't have to be just in the cross property, which I think you mentioned last time, right?
Yeah, so like if I was just to press this wheel thing, it will only show me that view in cross property. That's kind of like telling the system, every time I come into cross property, I want to view it this way, right? But because I gave it a name and I entered it into my display view, now I'm able to go into cross property, into sales, into rentals, and see this view as long as I pick this one. That's why I gave it a name and I saved it.
Or it saves it in all of them, so you can now search that view anywhere. That's great.
Yes, yes.
So it also, so if you search RE2, RE1, it'll start.
Yeah, I just came into RE1s, RE2s. You see how we're in RE1s, RE2s now? I'm not in cross property anymore.
I'm sorry, Andreina. How you mentioned that you had a Mac?
Yeah.
How do you add and remove columns? How's
Right.
it that you?
So you see when you see the 4 arrows here?
Yeah.
You press down and you can insert or
Oh,
remove.
got it. Got it.
So far, so good, right?
Yes.
So the reason why I wanted to also show you guys this is because once you have your display, you're able to collect all of these and you guys are able to print them this way, right? I don't know if you need to print this way, but you can actually export it into, look at the view, in-house sales agents view, into an Excel sheet with those email addresses and those phone numbers. So if you guys have a database or you guys are using MailChimp, you no longer have to copy paste that email address that you're sending out to the system. You guys can export it and then upload the entire thing into your database. So far, so good, guys?
Yes.
All right, very cool.
Andreina, let me ask you something. I knew a little bit about this long time ago, and that's how I get a lot of my database to put in my top producer or MailChimp. How many contacts can you export?
You can export as many contacts that this list gives you.
Done like 500. I've done a lot.
Yeah.
Like all Fort Lauderdale Beach and all the condominiums. I've done listing agent, sailing agent, 500, 600, 700 people.
That's
Now,
correct.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a different system to download the agents, right? Because my audience, just like yours, are agents. So I use broker metrics that you need to be a broker to have that system, and that's how I've downloaded them all. So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't downloaded from here. But let's say, give me 1 second. Let's do it.
You should do Sunny Isles. I've done Sunny Isles and it's great.
Yeah, let's do, you know, I have 5,000 plus matches here because I'm putting all the active and sales in Miami-Dade County, right? As long as I select them all, I am able to export that.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that I used to sport like 5,000, 10,000. I don't remember, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it now that we know how to do it by area. We can do it by area, you know, and that way we can do it all of them.
Exactly.
You know, do it organized by area. Sure, you know.
Yeah, you guys can do
Yeah.
it that way. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys besides the searches, right? I don't want to gear away from the search, just so I can teach you a little bit more of what MLS does. But I wanted to help you guys set up your hot sheets so that you guys always know what's going on, like who's selling and buying in your area, right? And we would do that with the hot sheets. And that way you guys are always in tune with one, what's going on, and who you should be contacting at all times, because it is great that you guys have all these email addresses and you guys are putting them in your database and email campaigns and all that. But none of that really works if you don't follow up consistently with the people that are actually selling in your area. So let's go back into the search part of it. Give me 1 second. Now you guys are able to, there's a lot. Let's go back. What was that address again? 730?
Sorry, yes, 730 North Ocean.
It's okay. All right, so let's say you guys really liked these 4. You guys are able to click on refine, and you guys are able to narrow down only to the 4. That way you guys don't have to view all your other listings that are in there at all times. You guys are also able to use your cart. For me, the cart is essential. So let's say you really like these 4, you've narrowed them down, but you have to leave your office, you have, you know, a client coming in, whatever the reason may be. You really like this for a certain client. You can put them in the cart. You give the cart a name. Notice how I'm not gonna pick any client or contact. I'm just gonna give it a name. So now let's say you guys have gone home and you guys wanna open up with your cart again. There's a little button here that's called My Cart, and all those listings are in here. It didn't send anybody an email. It didn't notify anybody about anything. This is just for you. It's kind of like if you're shopping at the store and you haven't paid for them yet. You just have them in your cart. Okay. So far, so good, right? All right, let me get out of the cart. So that's one way to save. Now, it's not gonna save the criteria. This is only going to save, you know, what you have picked to view. Now, another thing that you guys can actually do is your saved searches. So now you have a new saved search. This is something that there's a search that you guys are doing over and over and over again, and you guys just wanna save it. It's gonna go into My Matrix, saved searches. And the way to save that is you just give it a name. If you want it for a certain client, put it in here. It won't email the client. It won't notify the client. This is just for you to know who this criteria is for. And give it a name, and that's it. That's how you do a saved search. Your next button is your new auto email. Your new auto email, it is, you do need to pick a contact because whatever you are telling the system, this criteria, any new listings that pop up are gonna be sent to your client. So this is whatever you're searching here is so you don't have to do the search over and over and over again for that client. You're gonna give it a subject, and if you notice here, it welcomes them to your portal, which was that first thing that we actually did. I showed you what your portal looked like. It welcomes your clients into your portal. It gives it a little hello. And then every time a new listing comes up with that criteria, and it's gonna email your clients again, it's gonna be a reoccurring email. Now, if I were you, I would make this a little bit prettier than just, one or more updated listings to match your search criteria. Then you have this button here that's called Enable Concierge Mode. That's actually one of my favorite buttons. This means that before your clients receive all those listings that are brand new with their criteria, the system is going to notify you and ask you, can I send it out or not? You're able to reject or accept your clients from receiving the new auto emails that you're sending. You're also able to tell the system to send that, those listings as soon as possible, to send it daily, which days or which time frames to send it, or if to send it monthly. So far, so good, right? And last but not least, you have a new speed bar shortcut. So let's say this is, I really care about this building, and I want to know what's going on at all times, and I don't want to do a new safe search. What was the name of this building? Does anybody know? No? All right, I'm gonna call it in-house. Notice how it has a dash in the front. I'm gonna save it. So now when I go home, I can just input that name right here, and it'll take me right back to those listings I was looking at, and I can change the criteria.
Yeah, hold on, Olga, can you mute yourself? I think that the noise is coming from you.
Oh, from me, okay, wait.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
All right, guys, I know that you guys are talking in the chat. I cannot view the chat unless I open it up like I just did now. And Hector wants to know how to change the name again of the display. All right, so to change the name of my display, like you see how right now it's in single agent, I would go here and I would put in-house training, and I would save as a copy. That's how you change the name. And then over here, I can go into any of the ones that I've done. This is the view that we did before. And this is the view that I just saved now, which was the old view. But the way you save it is by this little notebook with a pencil right there.
So give me 1 second. So can you tell me how you got the phone number, that one, that the agent phone number? Because I'm trying to find an agent. Hold on.
Okay, so you have two different ones that are very important ones, right? So you have the agent's phone number, and then you have the selling agent's phone number. Selling agent's phone number is not the listing agent. That's the one who got the buyer. And then you have the agent's phone number, that's considered the listing agent.
Where do you see their name? Because there's not an option that says agent name, no?
Yes, it is. Insert column. It's already in there. So I don't know if it's gonna give it to me again. Agent, just put name. It's not gonna give it to me. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna delete all these columns again.
What is LS? What was that column that you had that said LS?
Listing agent.
Listing agent, yeah.
But it's not gonna give it to you.
So then that's what it is. It's not agent name, it's listing, it's LS. No?
It won't give it to you as a listing agent. Watch, I'm gonna do it all over again. Look, I've deleted all those columns, right? Now I'm going to insert name, and I'm gonna look for, oh yeah, you were right, listing agent's name.
Okay, perfect.
Very right. And then insert column, I want that phone number. Here's where it's agent phone. And
There's
then
another column, excuse me, there's another column that says co-selling listing, co-selling agent.
that's if they have a co-lister. So let's say that was a co-listing. It was 2 agents on that listing agreement. That's when you would see a co-lister. If you want
Co-selling,
the one, I'm sorry?
co-selling agent.
Correct. That's if there was 2 listing agents in that transaction, or if there was 2 selling agents in that transaction. Does that make sense? Let's say I'm in a team, and every time I list a property, I have to use my team leader on there. So even though I was a listing agent, I have a team. Or let's say I have an assistant, and I don't want to be bothered, but I am the listing agent, but I want my assistant's information to be on there. She would be my co-lister. But if I want to know who was the agent who brought me that buyer, I want to know the selling agent's phone number, their name, I don't know if I can, their name and their email. So far, so good. And I would view it this way because I'm finicky about my views. So far, so good. So now I have the listing agent's name, their phone number, their email address, the selling agent who brought me that client, their phone number, and the email. If you do guys want to see who had a co-listing, you guys can absolutely put it. Co-listing agent's name, where's their name? Co-listing agent name. Some of them have, most of them don't. That usually runs if there's like either a team or an assistant involved. All right, so far so good?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you guys are always gonna be on top of a certain building, you guys can go home, right? And there's a button here that's called Hot Sheets. Hot Sheets for me are essential. If you're an agent not using Hot Sheet, you really are not, you're not on top of what's going on around you, right? So in-house agents, it would be very important. You guys can actually set up to like 10 hot sheets here, if I'm not mistaken. And the way to do that, if you've never set up your hot sheets, I want you to come in here and I want you to delete all of the default settings that the board put in there for you. Just delete them all. Okay, now your hot sheets for regular real estate is everything that's going on in an agent's farming area, in, you know, for them to be updated with the movement that's going on. So let's say I am at Starbucks and I'm speaking to a random stranger and I say, hey, I am the specialist of Brickell. And that client says, oh yeah, so what's going on at the plaza or at the bond? And I say, hey, give me your information. And when I get to the office, I'll send you what's going on, right? I just showed that random stranger that I'm not the specialist of Brickell because I have no idea what's going on in the buildings that are around me. So hot sheets were designed so that if I am speaking to that stranger and they tell me, hey, what happened at the bond in the last 7 days, I am able to tell them, well, 2 had price decreases, 1 had a price up, you know, 1 came off the market, 3 new listings came in. I am able to have educated conversations with strangers. Now, give me 1 second. People are asking, okay, are we recording this? Yes. Sorry about that. If you guys write in the chat, I'm not paying attention to the chat because I'm on a different view. So your hot sheets for me are extremely important because you're able to see everything that's going on in your farming area at all times. Now, it's not going to show you every single listing. It's not going to show you everything that's there in that building. It is only going to show you for a small period of time what has occurred. So for the sake of this training, I'm going to do a hot sheet, right? I really do like cross property, and I'm going to give this a name. For the sake of this, I will stick with Brickell because it's where I worked for many years. It's easier, and I'm going to do the plaza, right? And I'm going to press save. And I'm gonna edit the criteria of the plaza. Now I'm gonna select all of these on this column because I do wanna see everything that's new, everything that comes back on the market, price changes, anything that closed out, expired, and so forth. And I'm gonna give it the address. Now, why am I showing you guys this as an in-house agent? Because you are gonna wanna know who is working in your farming area, right? You're gonna wanna know what agent put new listings in there, what agents closed out listings there. And you're gonna wanna have that view with their phone number and their email addresses because you guys should be reaching out to them and saying, hey, congratulations. I saw that you just closed out on something here. I am so-and-so from this, building, and I wanna invite you. And if you have any buyers, that might be interested in, or, hey, congratulations, I see that you have a listing. If you have any buyers that might not work for you, but might work for me, let's work together. So this is why I'm doing the hot sheets for you guys. Notice how I'm entering the address and I clicked on this and I'm not entering any other information in here because less will give me more. Now I'm gonna press save. I'm gonna click on done. So now, if you notice, you guys have this little window here, but in the last 7 days at the plaza, I can tell you that 1 went from pending sale to rented and 1 became expired. So basically, this is going to tell me the movement that has gone on at this building in the last 7 days. So let's say we were to go ahead and do that other building, right? That we were adding in-house agent training, because I don't know the name of the building, but we go ahead and go into edit criteria. We're gonna select absolutely everything here. And then we're gonna do 730 Ocean, and it was in Broward, right? And I'm gonna click on save. I'm gonna click on done. And then I'm gonna click in the last 7 days, what has gone on in the building. It's gonna show me absolutely nothing. Because this building, I saw the prices were high end, they were over $1 million. So it's not gonna move as quickly or show me as much has regular, like the plaza that has a lot of rentals or, sales that are under 500. But you guys can also come in here and you guys can customize it and say, in-house agent training, and pick dates from what date to what date do you guys want to see the movement that has occurred in this building. And whatever it gives you, now you guys can put that view of the agent. I don't know how fast or how slow this one moves, but let's say I want to see everything that's occurred from, I guess my hot sheets will only show, I think it's up to 30 days. Hold on, clear. So from March 4th to the 30th. Come on. All right. So 03, today's the 3rd, onto 03, run. See, I don't know, the day must be no more than 30 days in the past. Come on. So from March 4th on, run. So in the last 30 days, 2 became active, and 1 became a closed sale. And if I was to go ahead and view it in in-house agents view, I can see that these 2 came up active. These were the new 2 listing agents that are working that building, and this one closed it out, and this one brought the buyer. This way, as an in-house sales agent, you guys are able to contact in real time the people who are actively working that area right now. So if you're working kind of, let's say you work at Una in Brickell, you guys should have all the other, buildings that surround that area or that are selling other buildings like Una. Maybe you might want to have Santa Maria in there. But so that you guys are always in touch with everybody that's working in that area and contact them. Not just send them an email, but kind of like now you have their phone number. Hey, congratulations on that listing or congratulations on that sale. This is who I am, and I'd like to invite you to see a presentation. While you were the listing agent here, do you have any buyers that didn't work for you, but that might work for me? And this is how you use that MLS to work for you. You guys are part of the board, just like all the other regular agents. You guys are paying your board dues. Might as well use this for your benefit. Any questions?
Andreina, I have a question. How can you add the column of price per square foot to the search results? I tried in the past and I just can't find the shortcuts.
Okay, absolutely. Let's do that same building because it didn't have much movement. I really like when I get something with small results because it's easier to show, like to train with that, right? So in this case, it might actually have it. This has the square feet of, okay, what you want to do is the price by square feet, right?
Right.
It's already in this one. So if it's an active listing, you would add, insert. Listing price by square feet, and then the selling price by square feet. Sorry, you would add those 2. This one was already in there, the price by square feet, but there you go, the selling price. Now you've added the ones by the square feet. Did you see that?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, if you guys work with price by square feet and maybe market reports, in this building, you saw how I just did that search, right? It was a very regular search. I just put the address, I put the actives and the closed sales. If you guys go down here to where it says stats, and I click on tabular, I am able to narrow this down, right? So this says that actively, there's 2 listings active in this building. And their list price is $1,595,000. And remember, in real estate talk, we want to stick with that medium. This is kind of like your market report for this building. So at this price, they stay on the market for an average of 75 days. And that's their listing price square feet. Now, closed sales ever, there was only 4 closed sales in this building. And when they list at this price, they actually sell for 1.4, and this is the price by square feet. And medium wise, they stay on the market for 112 days. So if you really care about the square footage and the language to speak about what's going on over at that building compared to the ones that you guys are selling, you guys can always do this small little market report, and it's just by pressing stats, tabular, and it'll give you this information. Any questions? So far, so good. All right, someone's writing in the chat. Could you explain how to create the hot sheet again? Absolutely. All right, so I am at home, and you're gonna have this box somewhere in your home screen, right? Because we've switched around all of our boxes. And I'm gonna click on customize, and I'm gonna click on add. What building should I do? I can do, let's do 251 Crandon, which is in Key Biscayne. And I'm gonna click
Sorry,
on,
why do you put their cross property so you can get rentals and sales?
yeah, so that I can see the entire movement of the building. I wanna see the rentals and the sales.
Okay. The cross property also works not only for sales and rentals in condos, but also in single family, right?
Absolutely, it definitely works for single family.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and edit the criteria. And I'm gonna do 251 Crandon. Now this is one of the key colony buildings in Key Biscayne. And I'm gonna click from new to expired, and I'm gonna click on save. And then I'm gonna click on done. And then in the last 7 days in 251 Crandon, only one listing became expired. That's been the only movement that has occurred in 251 Crandon in the last 7 days. Any questions on how to do your hot sheets? All right, so I told you guys that I wanted to teach you guys how to break down that Miami-Dade folio so that you guys understood what all those numbers meant and how to get your area numbers. Now, again, this works for Miami-Dade County. If you would want to do Broward, that would be an entirely separate class because Broward adds letters in their folio if it's in a community or complex or not. So it's a little bit different. So for the sake of this training, let's go ahead and do Miami-Dade County breakdown. Now, if you guys are following me on a computer, please don't follow me in this section because I'm not gonna add or edit any listings, but I wouldn't want you guys to press something that you guys shouldn't, okay? This is just for the sake of this one training.
I'm sorry, Andreina. I'm sorry. Add, edit, and then what?
Don't follow me. Don't follow me on this one. This is, I'm only doing this so that I can show you guys how to break down the folio, okay?
Oh, got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't follow me on this one. So this is your folio number, okay? Now this is Miami-Dade County. So with this folio number, notice how the first set of numbers, 30, is the same number as your municipal code, 30. Your second set of numbers, 49, is your second set of numbers, and it is the same number as your area. Township and area are the same numbers, and it is the second set of numbers in the folio. Your third set of numbers is your section. Your subdivision is your fourth set of numbers, and your parcel is your last set of numbers. So what does this mean? Your parcel is the exact location of the property. That is the house, that's the lot that it's on, right? Your subdivision is the complex. Your section number is everything that's around that complex, and your township is your area. So again, what does this mean? Let's say you're doing a search and all you have is a folio number. This is beautiful if you're doing single family house farming when you break down this folio, right? So this is how it works. I know that this house is not for sale right now, 0 matches, right? But if I was to take out the lot number or the property number, which is the last 4 set of numbers, and I add an asterisk, I know that in this complex, now there's 2 matches. So inside of this complex, there's 2 properties for sale. Now notice how I use that asterisk, which I should have showed you earlier, but I'm gonna show it to you now. So this asterisk is me telling the system, show me all the numbers that come, show me everything that might come after these numbers, okay? So let's say I have a client that will only wanna buy inside this complex. Just by using the folio number, I took off the parcel, I have 2 matches. Now let's say that this client does not want none of these 2 properties, but does not mind living on the around this complex. I will take out the next set of numbers. And now I have 10 inside this complex. And now if I was to take out everything that's around the complex, I end up with the area number, which is usually over 400, 500 listings. But that's how you break down that folio for Miami-Dade County. And it is just by using the folio. All right, so the use of asterisk, I should have showed you guys before, because for me it is essential when I teach this class. And for you guys, may be a great thing as well, right? So let's say you guys want to know everybody who's selling a certain line in the building that might match that same view or line in the buildings that you guys are representing, right? So let's say you want to see a certain building that is selling in the line 01, in their 01 line. So what you would do is go into here and you would put asterisk 01. So you're telling the system, show me everything that ends with 01. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or show me everything that ends with 02. So if you were to go into your results, notice how all the unit numbers ends. Oh, give me 1 second. I just clicked on something. Notice how all of them end with 02, because that's the line that I told the system to teach me, to show me. All right, so far so good, right? Why is this important? Because if you guys are working on a building and you guys want to sell that certain line, you know, you might have a listing agent or a selling agent who has clients who were just searching that 01 line and that other building that maybe they didn't like it, but now can go to yours. So now you can see all those listing agents or selling agents that have sold in that line. And that we do by single line. Give me 1 second. Over here, we would pick that same view of, you know, to show us who those agents are. And that's why it was important for me to show you guys those asterisks. All right, the chat is saying, can we use the asterisks in the address or complex name? Absolutely, actually. So the asterisks are literally just telling the system, hey, show me everything. You want to use it in complex, right? I think it's what it said. So you guys want to show me everything that comes before, let's say, colony, and everything that might come after. So you guys can actually use the asterisk in the front and in the back. Like, show me everything that might have this word in the middle. Or show me everything that comes before colony, because I know that what I'm trying to search for is key colony. Or show me everything that has the word colony in it. Or, you know, show me everything that starts with the word colony and has something else that comes after it. So the asterisks are very useful. You guys can actually use these asterisks as well when it comes to maybe broker remarks. Let's say you guys are looking for luxury in any of the words that you guys are searching. I would use the asterisks for that. So yeah, you can use the asterisk just to tell the system that you're searching for this word inside anywhere on your search. Any questions, anything in particular you guys want to know? So far, so good. So we've been doing the class for an hour. I don't know if you guys want to, you know, let's open it up for questions. And if there's anything in particular you guys want to do before we log out, let's go ahead and do that.
I think that I already have like 2 weeks of work doing this.
Between setting up the hot sheets and their display views, I mean, I honestly, I know I'm an advocate for the MLS, so I don't know if you guys know a little bit about.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I remember a long time ago, I used to save some buildings around Hollywood, Highlander, and Sunny Isles that I used to check a lot. Yes. Can I save like 3-4 buildings or?
Yeah, I'm just right now I'm doing that, Juanca. Yes, you go and you add several that's what I think. I don't know. I'm sorry, Andreina
I think
said.
it's because of the hot sheet that she already.
Notice how I did 3 hot sheets right now. I can add another one.
Oh, okay, so it's the same hot sheet, so I can save, for example, the beach club in Hallandale and beach club for sale, beach club for rent, so I can create any kind of hot sheets there.
Absolutely. I believe that the system allows you to create up to 10 hot sheets.
But they will send you an automatic email when they get a new listing in the hot sheet or not?
No, this is not going to notify you at all. Your hot sheets are kind of like your Bible, right? Okay. So the hot sheets, it's something that you would come in maybe once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks or however long you want to, go in the system for, click on and see the movement that's going on. So it's not going to notify you. There is not an auto email sent or anything like that. This is just kind of like, let me see what's going on in that building and see who I'm going to prospect today.
You can also save it in my favorite searches, right? Yeah. On the left-hand side.
Yeah, so that what I did for you guys earlier when we were doing a regular search, I showed you guys just how to do a regular safe search. Oh shit, not Crandon. So we would go in here, and if you like the criteria, you would just go into save and do a new safe search and save it that way. If you want to be notified every time there's something in there, you guys should do your new auto email and just put yourself as a contact to be notified every time something comes in. I will say though, if you're somebody that's constantly, consistently prospecting those agents that are working in your area, I would turn on that MLS every day and just work off of my hot sheets. Like this should be your Bible. The reason, I don't know if you guys know who I am, but I'm not licensed. I'm not an agent. I've never been licensed. I've always been management, right? So for me, my hot sheets were essential to be able to stock what my own agents were doing. And this is kind of how what I use the hot sheets for a very long time. But for you guys, this should be the same way. Like if you guys are in a certain building and you guys are prospecting certain buildings that are around it, just to know who those agents are who have those clients, I would just set it up in my hot sheets and every 7 days come in and prospect from here. Any questions?
Understood. No, thank you.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Beatriz, do you need anything else from me for today?
No, I think that we've taken a lot of your time. I think that it was amazing. I mean, for me, it's honestly, it's gonna be very useful. Like it's been like a brain surgery right now. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, because I believe that in-house agents don't go into the MLS because they just feel, most of the time kind of like, you know what, that's where the other agents go. You know what I mean? You guys are to different standards.
I don't think so. I think that our day-to-day is so busy with many other requirements and lots of marketing that truly we don't have time to do this. I think that it's more about time than about not wanting to do it, or we truly do not have the time. People, have the tendency to say, oh, let's go to be in house and be happy and wait for people to, walking through the door. I'm telling you, no, that's not the case.
It's not the case.
So,
work a lot.
So we truly do not have the time.
All right. Well, the great thing about this quarantine that we've been kind of pushed into, I guess, is that now we do kind of have the time to learn those things that we were unable to before and kind of just set up everything so that the systems work for you and you don't have to work that system. So now that you know how to set up your hot sheets or your searches, or now you can have the system set up specifically for what you need it for. And now you actually don't have to set it up when you don't have the time and let it work for you.
But definitely, for all the in-house that are here, I think that this is an amazing tool to farm the people that is truly active in our area, especially when you are in luxury.
it becomes a challenge to target that people that is dedicated to that area and dedicated to that price range. So
Yeah.
this is going to be very useful for each one of us.
Exactly.
I mean, I see lots of luxury here. I mean, Arlis, Damian, Daniela, I mean, Hector, Olga. We have a challenge. We truly have a challenge targeting this kind of realtors.
And you can do the same thing with your market watch. It's set up the exact same way as your hot sheets. Since you mentioned that, you guys can actually go in here and customize it, right? And maybe in here, maybe instead of, you know, because this is not for certain buildings, it's kind of like for either an area or, you know, something that is bigger than your hot sheets. Your hot sheets is kind of like more narrowed down, but maybe I would do an area here. So if you're concentrated on something else, do it here. And then maybe once you have your market watch, you guys can see, you know, you guys can narrow it down on who is really active in that zone that you guys are working in, and connect with them. You know, this was a pleasure to do. I know some of the in-house agents are, you know, they message me from time to time and they're like, oh my God, I have to do the search. I don't know how to do this. I haven't gone in the MLS for such a long time. Please help me. You know, and everybody knows that I am extremely accessible, and I answer every text message, every email. I've never charged for any of my trainings when it comes to the MLS. So if you guys do have questions, please reach out and I will figure out something that works for you guys. Like when
if you want, Andreina, you can share your contact and on right there on this chat. And if anyone has, you know, has an idea and would like to have another training about this, you know, let me know or let Andreina know, and she will set it up for us. And I don't know. If Andreina, if you come up with any, I mean, you're the expert on this, and if you have any other idea about any other subject that it could be good for us, I mean, just let us know, because I am on MLS, I'm as basic can be.
I know you had told me that. You said when we spoke the first time, you were like, man, just do a very basic class, you know, for the in-house sales, because we hardly use the system the way it should be done. And I sat down and I thought, and I'm like, what do the in-house sales really need this for? And that's where I came in with, like, you know what, they're always asking for these email addresses and the phone numbers, and you know, they're always prospecting the agents in that area that are bringing in the buyers. So let me make this class geared more towards them, but in a basic way, so that you guys can understand, you know, can actually use the system properly for you. So, you know, if I get any more ideas, I'll reach out to you and say, oh my God, Beatriz, my brain worked again. Let's do this class, and this is what I'm going to be doing. So absolutely, like, I geared this class, you know, specifically for you guys.
What do you think? You know, let me know, everybody, if we'll do it again, like in 2 weeks, maybe, so we don't do it that often.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I've recorded this class. It's been recorded from the very beginning. I am going to put it on my website. Like I've done, you know, I've been inputting there all the masterminds I've been doing.
Okay.
So it's going to be accessible for everybody. And if you want to touch up again in 2 weeks, we can absolutely touch up. And if by touching up in 2 weeks will be great, because maybe now people will have questions of what they didn't pick up today, and they'll, like, you know, it'll be geared more towards the needs of you guys.
Okay, well, we'll do so. Leticia is saying that if we can do a class for Broward searches using the folio number.
We can definitely do that. I have to touch up on my Broward skills. It's been a while. Let me find out how to do their breakdown, and I'll definitely bring it back. There is a way to break it down. It's just a little bit difficult, only because they have letters in their folio.
Okay.
Okay. And again, I am accessible, so if anybody needs me at any time, let me know. All right, Beatriz, it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andreina. Thank you. Really, thank you so much.
I'm humbled and honored.
Thank you.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.